Sawadee krap. Welcome to All About Thailand by me. Today I have some very good news for you, so please watch the video if you are interested about how Thailand is planning to reopen the country in 2022. So I would like to talk about the 4 steps or 4 stages, phases of the reopening. Also, I'm gonna give you some heads up about what's the situation, what's the COVID situation or travel situation in Thailand right now. But first of all, the good news, the end of the whole story is that on the 1st of July, possibly or as it's planned by the Thai government, COVID-19 is going to be declared as an endemic. That's a very good news, very, very good news. And I just really hope it's going to happen, because probably it's not only me, many of you waiting for the same thing. So how the Thai government is planning to do that? It's going to be 4 stages, 4 steps, and let's just call them phases, because I think Thai government calling them phases. So phase 1 is what we are in right now. It's from the 12th of March. It started on the 12th of March and it's going to last until the beginning of April. So I assume it's going to be the 1st of April. So at the moment, if you planning to enter Thailand, you need a pre-departure test, a pre-departure PCR test, and on day 5 you need to do an ATK, so antigen test, which is a bit more civilized or human than the PCR. You know what I'm talking about. So day 1 test, pre-departure test, day 1 test PCR, and day 5 ATK test. If you are fully vaccinated, I have to emphasize, if you are not fully vaccinated, then all what I just told you, plus you have to do this whole thing in an ASQ, alternative state quarantine hotel, and you will remain in the alternative state quarantine for 10 days. So it's still better than up to last year, when it was still 14 days, actually 14 plus 1 arrival. Altogether it could be even 16 days. So it's only 10 days now, which is better than 14 or 15. So that's phase 1, and it's going to last until April. But from April, for unvaccinated, not much going to change, even from vaccinated. So you're not going to need the pre-departure test. So you can arrive in Thailand without any tests, and you need a PCR test on day 1 and an ATK test on day 5. So basically not much changed. But for unvaccinated people, actually for unvaccinated it's going to be better, because you do the whole thing, the same thing in an ASQ, but only for 5 days. That's the plan. So not to mention, it's all of course with Thailand pass. You have to apply for Thailand pass still, and I think it's going to be until the 1st of July. And also I would like to emphasize, everything is subject to change. Of course, it's all up to the Thai government how they're going to deal with the situation, and they even gave names to so phase 1 is combating the virus. So we are at the moment, phase 1 is combating the stage, and phase 2 is plateau. So plateau is going to be when government expecting to stabilize the numbers and stabilize the virus COVID situation in Thailand. So that's going to be until the 1st of May, beginning of May, and after, it's very interesting. So 1st of May until the 1st of July, basically if you are fully vaccinated, you just come to Thailand with the Thailand pass, no pre-departure test, no other test. That's the plan. So yes, you heard it right. If you are fully vaccinated, you don't need anything. If you are not fully vaccinated, you need an ATK test at the airport. That's quite nice. So it doesn't sound that horrible, right? Still not normal. I mean, still not back in the old days when you could travel, but well, even if you're not fully vaccinated, yeah, you're gonna get an ATK test at the airport. What's going to happen if you test positive? Then yes, you're going to go to a hospital. Hopefully not into a field hospital, but yes, in Thailand, yeah, you will go to a hospital. That's why you need an insurance. Very important, you still need an insurance. So Thailand Pass insurance is still on. Good news, or I don't even know if it's a good news, because now the insurance, the amount of insurance, you need to prove that you insured. The amount is 10,000 American dollars. So it's all right. So 10,000, it was 20,000, 50,000, even 100,000. But to be fair, my insurance company, the minimum for my insurance, and I had the basic one, it was 2 million euros. So that's not bad. So $10,000, it's fine, but it's nothing really. Insurance comes with very high amount of money what you can claim for, or you are insured for, and that's not something I think is something very interesting. But back to normal, back to the original subject. So phase 3, I have to look. So declining. So phase 3 is going to be declining phase. The name's telling you actually what Thai government expects. So at the moment, combating the virus. Phase 2, stabilizing, plateau. And phase 3, the virus is going to decline. So that's the plan. So everything can change, subject to change. And nowadays you can't say 100% anything. And if Thailand, in Thailand it's double true, triple true. So, but if everything goes well, everything goes according to the plans of the Thai government, then phase 3 going to be pretty much like a pre-normal phase, and then we're going to arrive phase 4, which is endemic. So 1st of July, if everything goes well, then all travel restrictions are going to be lifted. It doesn't matter if you are vaccinated or unvaccinated. Everything is going to go back to normal. No insurance, no Thailand Pass, no tests, no quarantine. Oh my God, it sounds just too good to be true. But let's hope for the best. Really, I think things are going well at the moment, and things looking good. Things are looking really good, because a few months ago, would you imagine, or could you imagine the Thai government gonna come up with the idea then, all right, you know what, yeah, we're gonna declare this an endemic? I would say no way, they would never say that. But now they do, and that's a really good sign, and I am really hopeful it's going to happen. And I think many Thai people really hopeful it's going to happen, because, and now let me to talk about what's going at the moment in Thailand. So Thailand is still combating the virus, and they having an average 20,000 new cases in Thailand, and an average around 75 deaths. That's not extremely good, but if the plan is to learn to live with the virus, then it's really reasonable to start making steps to reopen. So at the moment, that's the situation. Arrivals from the 1st of March, the first week of March, Thailand received 73,000 arrivals. So international arrivals, 73,000, it's almost nothing. It's not as bad as last year or 2020, but so every Thai person can feel it. And now that every government in the world, so we don't really talk about, governments don't really talk about how much money they had to borrow from banks or organizations to found the country. the more you stay in lockdown and locked up in your own country, the more money everyone going to lose, and that's not a rocket science. If this new variant is less lethal, much less lethal than the original one, and we can live with the virus, then please let's do that. I'm not a doctor, so it's not up to me. I'm just saying I'm overly happy about these new, I don't know, improvements on the way going back to normal. So still very few visitors in Thailand. Virus, the numbers seems to be stabilizing, so probably the phase 2 plateau from the 1st of April going to happen, and finally we will see like how soon can we get into Thailand without any regulations. Also, I would like to mention many not only tourist related organizations or even government bodies are not just wishing or requesting, they are demanding the government to reopen the country. And that's something I couldn't imagine. Like in 2021, no one could say that because the government would say, people would say, Thai people would say, no way. But now more and more Thai people think that it would be time to reopen the country. And yeah, again, in 2022, I think over 90% of Thai people would say, no way, I don't want to see any visitor in the country. So this is not changing. Also changing one very strict thing. So I think Thailand was the top of the top in strictness about masks. You still have to wear masks everywhere. So on the TV set, TV presenters, news anchors, everyone, people in the car, even if the same household, everywhere out and about, you must wear a face mask in Thailand. So now the government is talking about relaxing the mask rules, and yes, I think it would be time. Especially they just started to talk about okay, we might going to say you can remove your mask in parks, in public parks, and yes, please, please just make this decision. So okay, mask mandates in Thailand are very, very strict indeed, and now the news is that it might going to be relaxed only a bit, but every small bit is, I think, going to be well received by people. But let's just summarize the most important part of the video, which is the reopening of the country. 4 phases. Phase 1 combating until the 1st of April or beginning of April. April to May, phase 2 plateau. Phase 3 from 1st of May or beginning of May until the 1st of July, which is going to be declining. And from the 1st of July, endemic phase, when no more passes, tests, any requirements. If you don't need a visa to visit Thailand, then you can just come and go as you did before, as it was normal. So I really, really hope it's going to happen, and I'm sure many of you think the same. And well, let's hope for the best, and I will get back to you as soon as something huge going to happen. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, help to grow the channel. Please like the video, and please leave a comment. I appreciate every one of you who messaging me in private. Please leave a comment, and yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about or want me to make a video about, like, you can make a request, and I will see if I'm gonna be able to do that. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ